Hi everybody, welcome to Brailsford Family Homestead. I'm Darcy. I wasn't planning to make a video, but I came out to the garden and I thought I should bring you with me. Sorry for the road noise. If you've been here before, you know I live on a really busy road. It's probably 11:30 in the morning, but it's beautiful outside. I'm at the table in the back of my garden, which has shade part of the day. And I'm just gonna piddle around in the garden. What kind of word do you use, piddle, for that? It can mean two different things. I'm not peeing in the garden. Though I guess it's supposed to be good for it, right? The garden's a mess. The one out back is so overtaken with weeds and things, but we're gonna get it under control and just mark it up to a learning experience. You know, life happens. You can't do something. You just got to make choices of what you're going to be able to handle. So we did put a tarp down, and we are going to add some compost and plant the garlic here the very end of October. The first week of November, probably the latest, is what I would like to do. So it did really, really well back there last year, so we're going to put it back there again. I didn't plant really any fall things at all. I had plans and it didn't happen. I do have some lettuce and radishes planted. We'll see if those come up because we're already getting down to the very low 40s at night. They had a frost advisory, but we didn't get one. It was nowhere near that. So I'm not going to have really anything in the garden for the rest of fall or for winter, but that's okay. I can come out here and work and get things ready and in order for spring to do even more. I have one bed that is not yet filled with soil, so I've been putting all of the things I'm cutting off of the garden in there to fill it up. So I am going to be getting some more compost. Hopefully I'll get that one filled. I would like to build 2 more beds. See where this trellis is? I would kind of like to replace those planters with the regular galvanized beds that I make that you can see right there, going the same direction and having multiple arch trellises on them just to maximize the space. And then I would like to make something like that, but maybe a little bit shorter for some berries along the fence line. I wanted to do that before and was trying to figure out how to keep the goats from eating it, but now we don't have goats, so that should not be a problem. So I just want to maximize this area that is by the house because that gets the most attention. You know, out in the back, if I don't have a way to get back there other than walking, at sometimes I can't do it. It's a bit of a walk, which is not a problem, but it is downhill, uphill, and sometimes that is a big struggle for me with my knee. So our tractor got a flat and we got that fixed, and then some thingamajiggy on it broke and the tire fell off. You know, so I didn't have that to use, so it really got bad back there. So hopefully at some point I'll get like a side-by-side or something that would help in harvesting and bringing it back up to the house. But I want to focus on really maximizing my space up here. But even though it's a mess, I thought I would still show you what it looks like. I have tons and tons of peppers. Most of that green you see there is peppers. I have 3 beds of peppers. So, but also wanted to let you know, because some have asked, I think I said it in the video where I was at my mom's, that Joe did get another job. So that is a blessing. He started, I want to say it was like the third-ish week of September. It was near the end of September. So it's going well. He is 100% remote. So he works from home, and me and my kids love having him here. It's a blessing. We have some things we're still trying to figure out, but overall it has been just a tremendous weight lifted, and we're just really happy to have him here with us. We haven't added anything new. You know, we're just kind of focusing on trying to get things taken care of around here, and focusing on getting my garden back under control. We do really still hope to do pigs in the spring. We've toyed around with the idea of doing more than the two for ourselves and possibly selling some, but I don't know if I want to get into that. I really don't want to turn that into a business, and I don't know. We'll see. So maybe. Then we'll definitely do chickens again in the spring and summer as well. So let's get into looking at the garden. I started cutting this out while I was talking to a friend. There was lemon basil here, so it's died back. And then obviously these tomatoes need to get out of here. So let's cut these out. I'm just bringing you along as I piddle around in the garden. I'm going to save any of the green tomatoes that I think look good. And if there's any ripe tomatoes, I will save those, but I think they're all cracked and kind of gross, so they'll go to the chickens. I have a wagon just over my fence over here where I'm gonna throw all the stuff. So yeah, this weed, I guess it's edible. I've never eaten it. It's everywhere. Something's been munching on this, but this is turned out to be one of my favorite tomatoes this year. It's a Sart Rolois or something. Rolois, I don't know. It turns a really pretty kind of yellow pineapple-y color and then has the purple on the shoulders. That one's been munched on, so won't be doing anything with that. I'll keep this one. Cutting off tomato tie tape. I'll throw that in my garden trash can. You want to come say hi? Bunch of green tomatoes you can use for salsa verde or just fried green tomatoes, whatever. Some of these are really little. I don't know if I'll keep them. Do you guys see her? She's just hanging out watching, waiting for me, give her a treat. I was harvesting cucamelons earlier, so she was hanging around for those. Hi, Carmi. Hey, do you want a cucumber? Carmi, do you want this? I don't think she saw. I gave her a tomato hornworm and she ate it right up. I don't know if you can see. There's a bee right there. They weren't on this, what is this? Holy basil earlier. Look at all of them. Oh, here's another one on my zinnias. Right up there. I was sitting here earlier trying to start this video, but also talking to a friend, and I noticed so many bees over here. There is fall asters, goldenrod, and all kinds of things. And I have never seen so many so close. They were small, so I think they're honeybees. I'm not really knowledgeable on all the differences, but I'll bring you closer. Let's see if any more are still there. There was literally probably 100 at least right there. So I don't know if they're from my neighbors because she has honeybees, or if there's a swarm. I'm not sure. It's not as active as it was over here a little bit ago. There's something. Maybe you can see them flying around. I don't like to get too close because I don't know the difference, and yellow jackets are really bad news for me. This may seem really silly, but I'm really glad I added this to my garden this year. It's just simply a bucket with a lid for trash. Now I don't have my pockets full of trash. There's not trash left around. If I'm outside of the garden, I can also do that and then just empty it. It doesn't get full of water. I wanted to show you this geranium. I love this color. I don't know if it shows up, but it's like dark, real dark pink or red in the center, and then lighter on the outside. Things want to live. My mom gave me this small little start this spring inside this pot, and it got sat down in the garden and promptly forgotten about. I don't know if I watered this thing more than maybe the first initial week that I brought it home, and I never transplanted it. And then I just found it on the side of my garden recently, and it was blooming. There's another one coming up here. So even in this small little pot, with as hot as we had for July, it was so hot. So clearly this thing was dry and neglected and abused, and it survived. So I'm gonna get some more soil and probably switch this out, but this will be coming in the house for the winter so it can be planted. Let's hope in the spring. It definitely deserves the chance. But right now it's making my table here pretty with the color. Look at this pepper bed. The plants have gotten so big and heavy that they're pulling out of the tomato cages, but also I had a rogue chicken getting in here, somehow getting through my fence, and she was laying eggs in here. But lots and lots of peppers in there. Last time you saw this garden, there was zucchinis here. I pulled them out recently. As you can see, the asparagus starts I planted are doing really well. I want to fill this bed with them for next year, and this will just all be strawberries and asparagus. There's 2 or 3 strawberries that I've plucked from somewhere and put in there, but I need to put some more. But I want to show you some dahlias since we're talking about that things want to grow. For my birthday in July, a friend of mine sent me some, I think it was 3 different tubers for dahlias. It was obviously past time for typical planting of dahlias, but I did it anyway, hoping that they would survive, put on greens, and then I can harvest them, dig them up and keep them over winter. If you have recommendations for that in zone 6B or where I should put them, fridge, what? I've never done this before, but let me show you. This one is called Super Mix Dahlia. So there are some blooms starting on here. I don't know if they'll open up before frost. I kind of doubt it. This one is called Verdi or Verdi Glory. It's V-E-R-D-I Glory. So I'm hoping these open up before the frost. They have the best chance, I think. This one has the weirdest name, Red Fubuki, I guess. Don't think there's any blooms on this one starting. But still, I even separated some of the tubers, probably in a way I should not have. And we've got those 3. Here's the other side of that bed that was all leaning over on the other side. I'm going to show you my grape. No grapes this year still, hopefully next year. We are going to be doing something this winter for a trellis. It is absolutely massive. This is one plant and I did prune it. You can see the base there, and it goes all the way and up and over that trellis where there's more tomatoes. This is another pepper bed. There are banana peppers, habaneros, sheep-nosed pimento, and probably California Wonder in this bed. There is my trellis. You can see the morning glories. Those are sterile, so don't freak out. I had not had any fruit on my loofah all season until just a couple weeks ago. Look, if they keep going, they're still going to be really small, soft sponges, but I'll use them. There's a few in there. There was cucumbers on this side. The loofah was planted on the other side, but I couldn't believe it. I was waiting for fruit all season and they just now set. Here's a small one starting with the flower. I really need to harvest one that's small and try eating it. These morning glories are called Clark's Heavenly Blue, and they are sterile, so they do not spread. I plant them by seed every year. Oh, looks like a little bit bigger of a loofah in there. I'll get some sponges yet. Here is that trellis. The loofah were planted on that side as well as morning glories. I might have planted morning glories on this side, but I think it was all cucumbers. So now it's a little lopsided from those dying off. And I've actually cut away a lot of the loofah because it was spreading so much. This is always a favorite spot. I'm going to continue my piddling around the garden. I'm going to cut all of these tomatoes back just like I did over there. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. I won't make you watch all of that. Can you tell the difference? I'm not sure from this view if you can, but those are all open minus the grape at the edge there. I'm glad to have that done. You can see this garden cart, it's a large one, is full. I find it easier to deal with them before they're killed by frost when they're slimy and stuff. So if that's the case, I have to like let them dry out before I really want to deal with them. Found some hornworms. Some had the parasitic wasp on them, some did not. But I just threw them out here for the birds and they ate them. I have my big gate swung towards the chicken coop, so all of that noise that you're hearing rattling of metal is the guineas pecking at it because, hey, that's not where that goes. it's starting to get a little bit hot, but I want to do a little bit more. So let's go check some more stuff out. That looks much different. Look who came out to be with me. Addie. She usually doesn't like the camera. Hey, do you want to smile for our friends? You're a good girl. Another example in today's episode of Things Want to Grow, whether you help them or not, is this plant. I actually have never looked up the name. I probably should use a plant ID or something. But my mom has given me starts of this numerous times over the years. It's some type of tropical plant. It has purple underside, the leaves green on the top. There's not any flowers right now, but it's kind of almost a tight oval shaped pod like this, and it'll have some small white flowers. But anyway, I had this in my house for at least a year, maybe 2 years, and I had it in this bucket, and I decided last year in the spring to bring it out to the garden, and it sat in the bucket over by the trellis where the loofah is all season long. Frost came and I didn't bring it back inside, and it killed the plant. You know, it was all mushy and everything, so I just left it as is. At some point I put a plastic black planter in the middle of it as I was just stacking things, and then I think it was sometime in July, may have even been August, I went to move that black pot, and all these little starts were growing all around inside there. So I don't know if it went to seed or if there was some roots that survived. I'm not sure, but it didn't show anything until then. So I thought, this thing surely wants to live. It had not been watered. It literally had a pot on top of it. So it's sitting here looking beautiful. I'm gonna have to take either the whole thing inside or some starts. I should probably do that soon so I don't lose it again. But this is another example of things that are growing and even thriving despite me. You've got cobwebs and stuff all over you. Could you go clean those off? What'd you get into? You're all dirty. You got stuff all stuck in. Oh, she slimed me. Ew. I love her. So another thing here. I'm sensing a theme. Are you? I think that I planted these in the spring. If not, I planted them last fall because some tango leaf lettuce came up here this spring that I had attempted to grow in the fall, and it didn't come up till then. I have some more seeds. Hopefully that will happen again. But this is chard. One of these might be spinach, but I think back here. All of these are chard. I did absolutely nothing to these this year until a few weeks ago. I cut them down to about nothing, and now they're popping back up. So I will have these that I can harvest from. Even once we get a frost, they'll be okay for a little bit. So yeah, another example of things that want to live even when you neglect them. Have you guys seen my wasp station? I'm not sure that I've showed it in a video. I think just in a community post. I'll show you up close, but I love the height of it because I am a tall woman, and you know, I don't want to be bending over too much. I have sometimes have some back issues, so I have some tomatoes that we brought up from out back, and it looks like there's some rotten ones in there, so I need to separate them. I'm gonna rinse them off, and I'll just put them in these trays to take them in the house. But let me show you up close. I don't have a sink hooked up to it yet, but I can bring my hose over here. But I love this little cubby we made so I can stick my soap and my brush in there. It doesn't go flying, and it can drain. So just has this flat surface here, and then this is all hardware cloth here, and anything right now will just flow right back here so it won't flood anything. What are you doing? My kids harvested these tomatoes. And so I don't think they were really paying attention. And they were sitting in this bucket. I can smell that there's rotten ones. Ugh. Well, and I can just throw them. Ugh, this bucket is, it's just tomatoes, Addie. She thinks it was something down there. Whew. Gosh, I don't think there's any good ones in here. Oh, maybe there is. The guineas and the chickens have access to this, so they can get down there too. Rotten tomatoes smell so bad. Yeah, that was gross. Whoops. Now I could just lay them on this hardware cloth and rinse them. I was just doing these trays because they were out here, and then I can just carry them in the house in these trays. I have a lot of these, so usually when I'm ripening tomatoes and things, I'll put them in these so I can move them around easy. Just let those, we better spray out the buckets too. That one's gonna need some soap. Woo-wee. While we're washing things, might as well take care of these green tomatoes. And I do have a couple green peppers too. One of the plants I noticed had broken, probably from that chicken. Oh, I forgot about the cucumbers. Well, at least they won't fall through the hardware cloth. Well, I lost one. This is the bed I told you I've been putting things in to fill it up. So hopefully before spring that will be filled with soil. Let's take a look at a few more things. These are thornless blackberry. Hopefully I will get these transplanted out back or along this fence line very soon. Those are comfrey. I want to transplant those out back where my elderberry is. It's a mess, guys. So there is some, I think, English lavender there and some parsley. I've harvested and dried that. Basil, I just let it go to seed because I do not need any more. This is a marshmallow plant. Some of the top parts are dried and kind of dead, but it's still doing good. Maybe I'll harvest the roots this year. My zinnias are all over the place. I definitely want to trellis them better next year. There is a hog panel down here, but I meant to lift it up and I just didn't get to it. So I'm thinking of growing zinnias on either side of the front gate. That is my horseradish. Those zinnias right there look pretty. This was green beans and I just left them in there. So there's some growing. They're feeding the soil, I guess. Addie, are you giving the tour? Hello, Carmi. Are you coming to say hi? I don't have any treats right now. Yeah, you're a pretty girl. This is my sage. I have harvested this, but looks like I should harvest it again. And then over here, there's some pineapple mint, and then that is, I think, holy basil, and there's chamomile underneath it. I don't think you can see from here. There is a lot of banana peppers in here. I have some in the other bed too, and a friend is coming over a little bit later today to harvest as many as these as she wants because I have canned plenty of banana peppers. I don't need any more. There's ginger in here. I don't know if you can tell. This is a ginger plant. I have a couple more. Oh, I thought I just broke that. I didn't. There's one on this end, one on that end, and one in the hot pepper bed that I'll show you. Oh, so pretty. In here, let's see, we have some bell peppers, sheep nose pimento. I think there's some burrin, and there's habanero. I don't know if you can see the orange one right there. And then some California Wonder, I think, and then lots of banana peppers. Yep, that is the culprit. See, she has that purple band. She has been named Treasure, but she sneaks in here, and I need to fix this gate, and she will sneak in right there. And next thing you know, I find her in my beds. Here's that second bed. I cleared all the tomatoes out. There is some celery I need to harvest. And there's alyssum in here, which I will leave, but look at all these weeds. There is some lamb's ear. There should be some coral bells in there somewhere, but I really let the weeds get away from me over there. This is my oregano. I think this is spearmint. Let's check. No, I think that's lemon balm. Can you smell it? This is a dahlia. That was a seed dahlia that I bought at the Amish greenhouse. Marigolds. There's some celery over there to harvest. A really pretty impatient. Let me show you closer. You guessed it, more peppers. There are 3 or 4 jalapenos on the end here. This is a habanero, a red one. There's one of the peppers there. There is Thai chili peppers here, the long red ones. Another ginger. There's a poblano pepper back here. And then 3 or 4 more banana pepper plants here. And a ginger. I planted more banana peppers this year because I wanted enough to can. And every year I just didn't have enough. They weren't coming on strong, so I wanted to make sure I had enough. And like I said, some of them were stunted. I think I said. So when I started them by seed, a lot of my peppers were stunted from the soil I used. So I bought more peppers at the Amish greenhouse, changed the soil on the ones I started, and they started to thrive. And so I had a lot of peppers, and of course I had to plant them. So I have had one friend come and harvest all they wanted of these banana peppers after I was done canning, and now another friend is going to come and harvest. So there has been plenty. It has definitely been the year of the pepper. This is my chives. I could harvest it, but I don't think I need any more, so I think I'm just going to leave it for the rest of the season. I think I called these bubble gum last time, and they're called bandana lantana. They are not, perennial in my zone. I love them. There's more chamomile. I didn't think it was going to come up, but it did, and it hasn't flowered, so I'm guessing next year. Oh, I missed it. She had her head down and looked so cute. I tried to get it for you, but look at her. She's such a good girl. Don't try to pet her or come around, though. She only likes her people. I'm gonna still play around out here for a while longer, see what I can get into. I'm just really enjoying being out here and it not being 90 something degrees and sweating. I did take a break and went in for some lunch. But I'm just gonna stay out here because I can. I should probably be inside cleaning and organizing, but that can wait for bad weather. I hope you guys have enjoyed coming around as I showed you some of the things in my garden, as I piddled around and showed you things that want to live despite the gardener neglecting them. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And if you would like to see more videos where I'm just going around doing various things, let me know that too, and maybe I'll bring you along the next time. Until next time, God bless. Addie, you gonna say bye? Addie. Hey. Sit. Good job. They can't see you. Say see you next time. See you next time. Whew. Breath. Good girl. Oh, now you've got burrs. She needed brushed anyway. See you next time.